2020 has been a difficult year for everyone, filled with unbearable amounts of loss. Unfortunately, it's also been an incredibly difficult year for legendary actor John Travolta, who had to say a heartbreaking goodbye to his wife, Kelly Preston. John Travolta and Kelly Preston were both accomplished actors, which makes their long romance quite surprising. Many Hollywood romances are known for being passionate but short-lived. For Travolta and Preston, however, it was different. The two married September 5, 1991, and remained married for a total of 28 years until Preston's tragic death. They were deeply in love with one another and had one of the most solid and romantic relationships in Hollywood history. In 2018, however, their marriage faced its most difficult obstacle. Kelly was diagnosed with breast cancer at age 55. While many people are able to survive breast cancer, the disease always entails a long and difficult struggle. Kelly and John both knew that even if Preston was able to survive, it would be a painful and winding road towards recovery. The family kept her condition very private. After all, while the family could have expected an outpouring of support, some things are easier to deal with in private. It's no wonder they kept the illness under wraps. Nobody wants their tragic battle with cancer to be published on tabloids all over the world. Kelly Preston received state-of-the-art treatment at MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston. She battled her breast cancer for 2 years, but even with dozens of doctors to care for her, the illness ultimately won. She was surrounded by friends and family when she died July 12, 2020, in her home in Anthony, Florida. John Travolta and Preston's children were devastated, and while they ultimately had to announce the news on Instagram, they had a family representative ask to leave the family to grieve in private. After a few months of grieving and solitude, Travolta finally came forward to thank his fans for all their support. Still, we all know the death of his beloved wife will affect him for the rest of his life. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the life and legacy Kelly Preston left behind. Tragically, this isn't the first untimely loss the family has suffered. Make sure you stick around because we're going to talk about how John Travolta and Kelly Preston lost their young son 11 years ago. A long and winding road towards romance. Preston and Travolta married in 1991 and stayed together for 28 years. Together they had 3 children, Jett, Ella, and Benjamin. However, it took both actors quite some time to discover the one. Kelly Preston was involved in a number of high-profile romances before she finally settled down with Travolta. In 1985, she married actor Kevin Gage, but the two divorced in 1987. In the late 80s, she became yet another of the many women to become romantically involved with heartbreaker George Clooney, but that relationship didn't last long. Finally, in 1990, she became engaged to yet another famous actor, Charlie Sheen. They broke off their engagement that same year. Rumors flew around the reason behind their broken engagement was that Charlie Sheen shot her in the arm, but Kelly Preston officially put that wild rumor to rest in an interview with TMZ. In 1987, the same year she divorced Kevin Gage, she met John Travolta while filming The Experts. After a few wild and experimental romances, she finally realized Travolta was the one, and the two married September 5, 1991. The loss of John Travolta and Kelly Preston's son. While John and Kelly remained happily married for 28 years, their relationship was not immune to tragedy. Together, the couple had 3 gorgeous children, Jett, who was born in 1992, Ella Blue, born in 2000, and Benjamin, who was born in 2010. Their firstborn, Jett, however, secretly suffered from autism as well as Kawasaki disease when he was an infant. Another private health problem he struggled with was a long history of seizures. In January of 2009, the family took a vacation to the Bahamas. What should have been a relaxing and joyous time, however, quickly turned into an unavoidable tragedy. Jett Travolta suffered a seizure, which ultimately led to his death on January 2, 2009. The family was devastated, but they weren't even allowed to mourn their son's death in peace. Several people who the couple had thought were friends attempted to use their son's death as a means of extortion. Still in mourning, Kelly and John were forced to testify in court against the 3 men who had been involved in a multi-million-dollar conspiracy. However, Travolta and Preston ultimately dropped the charges because discussing their son's death in court became far too painful to continue. While facing the tragedy of their son's death, however, Kelly and John were able to rely on one another to make it through. Their marriage remained intact even in the face of such adversity. Kelly Preston's impressive career. Kelly Preston landed her first acting gig in 1980 on an episode of Hawaii Five-0. While it took a few years for her career to really lift off the ground, she finally landed her first memorable role in the 1985 film Mischief. Throughout her career, she appeared in 60 television and film productions, making for a rather impressive filmography. Some of her most famous films include Space Camp, What a Girl Wants, and Old Dogs. Despite Kelly Preston's impressive career, however, she and her husband John Travolta were both involved in some shady business. Make sure you stick around until the end, where we'll reveal how she and her husband were firm believers in an organization that is now known widely as a cult. And if you're enjoying this video so far, please take a moment to like it, and don't forget to subscribe to Facts First for more. A childhood of ups and downs. Kelly Preston was born in Honolulu, Hawaii on October 13, 1962. She was no stranger to heartbreak and loss even as a child. When she was just 3 years old, her father drowned. Thankfully, her mother, Linda Smith, remarried a kind man named Peter Palsis, who adopted Kelly as his own. While he could never make up for the loss of her biological father, he was still a strong father figure to her and was supportive throughout her life. She attended Puna House School in Honolulu at the same time as President Barack Obama. She developed an interest in acting at a young age, and as a result, after graduating high school, she studied drama and theater at the University of Southern California. Her selfless work in charity. Kelly Preston wasn't just known for her work as an actor. She was also a firm believer in helping others and became involved in numerous charities. Throughout her career, she became invested in the issue of over-medication of children. While medication can be very helpful in treating mental and neurological disorders, many doctors will prescribe exorbitant amounts of medications with many ill side effects. She became a board member of the Children's Health Environmental Coalition, and also raised a lot of money for various charity events alongside her husband. She was primarily interested in charities that help children, most likely due to the untimely death of her son. Kelly Preston and John Travolta were both Scientologists. There's no arguing Kelly was a wonderful and kind person. However, both she and John Travolta were ensnared in the world of Scientology. Creator L. Ron Hubbard advertised Scientology as a religion, but it's actually a money-making scheme and a cult that countless people fall victim to every year. The organization has also been discredited due to many scandals and reported illegal activities. John and Kelly's involvement in Scientology was controversial, as many people have lost friends and family members to the organization. Kelly Preston remained a firm believer in Scientology until her death. Still, even though her involvement in Scientology was controversial, there's no denying she was a talented actor who brought light and love to the people close to her in her life. John Travolta was devastated by Kelly Preston's death, but with the support of fans, friends, and family, he'll surely be able to heal from the tragic loss. Were you more surprised to learn about the sad death of their son, or about their firm belief in Scientology? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Facts First for more.